Nah, sesi ini sudah. Itu ya, skill ya. Sudah dibantu. Thank you very much.
Mantap. Ya, ini ya, Pak ya.
Terima kasih.
يونو يولي يسموها
Okay, well, hello everyone, welcome back to the main room. So we move on to the next agenda. It's for insight about the future of public administration that will be moderated by Dr. Rohana Ahmad. And before we start the agenda, let me read the speaker first. There are 5 speakers from executive boards of APSPA as follows. The first speaker is Prof. Ampon Samronglak, PhD, as the president of APSPA from Thailand. The second is Professor Ahmad Martada Muhammad as publication head of APSPA from Malaysia. And then Professor David N. Amares from Mindanao State University, Iligan Institute of Technology from Philippines. And then we have Professor Tao Chen as guest speaker from Huazhong University of Science and Technology, China. And the last is Dr. Diah Mutiarin as General Treasurer of APSPA from Indonesia. To Dr. Rohana Ahmad, time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Alia. Am I so excited waiting for another 30 minutes? Excited with the topic, I think so. That's why I was in here, this room, and since 2:30 just now. But anyway, thank you so much, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. Selamat tengah hari for all. Then I hope that everybody here still in a good emotionals, good mindset, because we already be here in the conference about almost half a day. So to my my colleagues, my presenter, why suddenly? Okay, my beloved participants. So once again, good day. I'm Dr. Rohana, a senior lecturer from Faculty Business, Economic and Social Development from University of Malaysia, Terengganu. So today we're going to proceed on our second last agenda, which is that the insight board. Board insight from this experts has been mentioned by Alia just now, that we are going to talk about the future of public administrations. So as we know that Administration is the effective techniques that's normally in managing the available resources in the particular area throughout the settings of the government institutions. Then public admin also is in the broad sense of the public admin is the collective of the efforts of the government institutes. So today we are so happy to have all the expertise to talk and to discuss deeply about the future of public administrations. As we know that we are now in the what we call that before we start with our presentations, I would like to read the CV of the first speaker first, which is the first speaker is Prof. Ampons, to share about her thoughts regarding the future's public administration. By the way, we allocate at least 15 minutes everyone. So let me see, let me read through about her interesting CV. Prof. Ampons is the PhD president of the Asia Pacific Society for Public Affairs, who works in Faculty of Political Science, Temasek University, and her research interest is public governance, digital governance, human resources management, public policy, and public ethics. She is now in academic director of councils of University Presidents of Thailand and still the advisor to the Senates of Political Party and People Participations Committee. So wow, this is about her CV. So without further ado, I would like to call upon her to present on her thoughts, on her idea, on her suggestions, and on her expectations for our future administrations in from the point of view in Thailand country. So Prof. Ampons, over to you and all the best. 15 minutes, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Rohana. I thought I would be the last one to speak. So
because you are the president, so we give you a priority.
Doing everything I can. So,
Okay.
in the afternoon here, we're not going to talk serious, okay? We are going to give like what we have done so far every year when we have the annual conference on ICONPO every year here. So we give the insight from each country, from Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and some other countries, including Thailand also. So from my point of view, this is a personal view that have been involved and I observe what's going on in the field of public administration. And could you, Aulia, would you like me to share the screen myself or would you share the screen for me? Okay, thank you. Looking into the future of public administration, I thought I would be the last again. I'm in the field of public administration for so long, from my undergrad study for my master degree and PhD in public administration, and almost at the end of my career now in public administration. And we face a lot of challenges in the past 30 years, yes, but in the past 2 years, we see what's going on here in our analysis. Most of the time, we see the ecology or the environment of public administration involving, next page please, a lot of factors regarding of politics, of course, economics. That's what's going on here today. We have, because of the COVID-19 pandemic here, we have to be concerned on the economy of all countries. the laws that we implement when we doing our public services to the citizen of all countries, right? We also concerned about other disciplines. Could you move the screen, please? Aulia? Agus? Okay. Yeah. We're also concerned about other disciplines. That's why we call public administration as an interdisciplinary of course, in social sciences, but also concerned about humanities and science. We concerned with science. We adopted many ideas from engineering and some other fields, but now we are more concerned, recent years, with digital devices, IT, Internet of Things, and going to digital governance, and of course to the health science, not to forget about the human side of the enterprise here. We also have to take into account other collaborations with international organizations and the impact that had happened for over the past decades of the globalization, the borderless society, the internet here. So we are well aware of that. If we look into the past, how we develop here in the field of public administration, we are concerned mostly, I am the legacy of education from abroad, particularly from the United States of America. And we know that, next page, please. We know that in the past, the development of the field have been involved around what happened in the States, in the past, like in 1960s. We know that we were concerned about social equity. Next slide, please, Agus. Yes, we were concerned, we voiced and we call for the concern for social equity, relevancy of public administration to the social problems and any particular political concern that would affect the public services. We try to be more adaptive in the administration, applying normative theories, doing a lot of comparative politics, comparative public administration studies, and into cybernetic states. We try to rationalize and decentralize, but most of the concern focusing on public administration in the American, American studies perspectives here. But 20 years later, with the development there and sharing of perspective from academic scholars, theorists, and practitioners in the States also, they came back again to realize that the program of public administration has been started mostly and dominant in the United States of America, but with the development of globalization and internet, borderless society, then we connect all the worlds here together, but not very well like what happened today. Yes, but we try to cooperate and create network of services and try to work together to create a global village, in creating a collaborative governance. Yes, there's a world, it's open up for all to other parts of the world now about developing theories and new ideas and approaches to the study of public administration. But what happened in the past years because of COVID-19, disruptive technology that came so far quite a long time. But the disruption of the COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic here, with the involvement and development that we do not know and cannot predict what will happen next year, but we can at least foresee with the big data and analytics, AI, and everything there, what do we see and what would we expect to see in the future, maybe in the next few years or in the next 20 years. Yes, so I look, so I look and search what with the information overwhelming in the cloud system here, in the internet that we are, getting information everywhere, whether it's correct or not, whether it will be verified, modified, put into fake information, everything, what will happen to the study of public administration in the future. Next slide, please. So for tomorrow and in the next 10, 20 years, what I see is that in Thailand, I think we lag behind in the study and teaching of public administration, particularly in Thailand. We will be facing a lot of challenges here. I'm so happy to hear a lot of papers, study and research done by students, professor, academic, practical, and practitioners, anyone, involved in the study of public administration here, doing a lot of things, trying to collect data and analyze what already in the internet. But in the study and teaching of public administration, particularly in Thailand, I see the methodological challenges here. A lot of methodological challenges here, because what we are teaching here in Thailand, for example, here, I don't know about other countries. I see a lot of progressions here in China paper, in Indonesia also, Philippines, and also some other countries as well that I try to see, in other parallel sessions here. But in Thailand, we don't see this kind of things a lot. It's becoming a challenging for teachers who are going to teach public administration for the future. We have to be more rigorous in this methodology. We have to be more understanding and study the tools, statistical tools, a scientific analysis, becoming more rigorous and strenuous in that. But at the same time, I see the opportunity of big data. I myself try to learn and develop myself into this kind of thing, learning Pythons and into the program. Switching and crossing from the social science to computer science to some other data analytic, and maybe you'll be able to find insight for policy decision making and help the government to solve a big issue like health in the future. How would you not only cure, but to prevent what will happen in the future, right? And so what we see in the next directions here, I will be brief here. Next slide, please. That will be my last slide here. So I'm seeing here that we have to combine a lot of things. Yes, particularly for us, as a academic here in the field of public administration, we have to combine not only theories, but today we have to search for new theories and approaches to combat, to prevent, and to plan to solve new issues like this one we never expect, which is in the different field, in health science. We have no technical expert. We have no idea what they are talking about, mumbo jumbo in scientific research about that, But we have to integrate, but we have to be able to integrate all those scientific study in other fields, combining with theories. Where do we get our theories from? Learning from the past, study what's going on at the present time, and projecting into the future. But at the same time, as public administrator here, you have to balance. You have to balance designing and thinking about theories, creating a lot of scientific models that cannot explain and solve practical issues, what's going on in real life. And, together with, you have to combine that and apply that to ordinary citizens, searching for truths, and try to find arguments and clear all ambiguity, constructive knowledge, searching for the knowledge for community and practices. There would be nothing without practicing it with community. So to me, it's your job and my job to search, look for, and construct theories for future that would learn from the past and present in predicting future by, new tools and knowledge in statistical analysis and new methodologies that we have to search for and develop ourselves before we teach our new students and share with the community. And of course, we have to be more interdisciplinary here. Be aware of that, not only in social science, crossing political science, that we know all about it. That's a main and major discipline there. Not only other sociology, science, humanity, but health science and art and some other, sciences that we have no idea at all and we never pay attention to it. It's time for us to cross over to other fields, be integrate with those and study and work, do the research with those who are involved in other sciences. And of course, we cannot forget that we are also studying, like here in our association APSPA here. We've been trying for a long time to combine the study and learn from Indonesia, learn from Thailand, learn from Malaysia, Korea, that we share among ourselves in our partners here. And we try to learn from now. We have new partners here from China and some other part of the world, Pakistan, Ethiopia, and anywhere that I can't name all here. After years of doing this annual conference, and we know that we need to build more comparative study on the same topic. I know it is hard to do so because we have different interests, right? And it's hard to combine and integrate all those ideas and study the same thing that we try to with the constraints of administration, the constraints of criteria, academic criteria, and everything else that are crunching upon our times and research and interest here. So my thoughts would be is that we have to be more open to study in other fields, combining with many disciplines across not only social sciences, but to other sciences, computer science, engineering, and health science, and doing a lot of comparative study, which at the moment, we do not have the approaches to catch up with this one. What would be the framework for our analysis here? That would be our challenge as a researcher, as an academic here, to propose and conduct and guide our students to do a comparative study. We are doing at the same time here, but that would not be an obstacle for us to study now and share. Since all the information now, if we can put it on template, put it on the same template here, and we analyze from the big data, that I think we are going to see more in the future. So it should be more selective what you are going to pick up and use for your analysis here. That would be my thoughts for the future in the field of public administration. Thank you, Rohana. My time is here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I almost remind you.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, we know that the future, it depends, is on what we do it in the present. So I want to hold first for the Q&A sessions. We will do it at the end of the sessions. By the way, thank you so much, Prof. Ampon, for your very, very meaningful and affirmative and interesting sharing today for our insight board today. So as we know that, before we proceed to the second presenter, we know that the public administrations have been past many evolution time. We started with the public administration ancient era. Then we move on to the public administration since the Middle Age. Then after that, we move on to the public administration in the modern era, and public administration in the contemporary era. And now we are emerging trend in public administrations. So what did Prof. Ampon mention just now, that we have to think seriously and deeply about our future in public administrations. So what that we can do that, before I call upon for the second speaker, allow me to read her a short bit about her, which is the second presenter is Dr. Daya Mutiari. She is I think she's a senior lecturer, Departments of Government Affairs and Administrations, Faculty of Social and Political Sciences, University Muhammadiyah Jakarta. So she will continue to discuss on her field, which is governance and financials. So I hand over to you, Dr. Daya. From your point of view in our future public administrations.
Thank you, Dr. Rohana. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rohana. Hello?
Yes, we can hear
Hello?
you. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
We hear you.
Yes.
But the only thing I'm confused because they have signs like unmute there.
No,
Yeah,
because you use the other microphone.
yeah, I used two gadgets. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rohana. Good afternoon, Prof. Ampon, as the President of APSPA, and also all the APSPA Executive Board, Professor Dr. Ahmad Nurmadi, and also Dr. Eko Priyo Purnomo, and also Professor and also all the professors and also all colleagues, and also to all the students. It come from ASEAN and also from Europe and also from Australia.
Mhm.
Yeah. This afternoon, I would like to share about my insight on future public administration, because the committee asked me to give a speech on the future of public administration. I would start my insight from what have been experienced by the world from 2000 until now, that we are under the COVID-19 pandemic. And before we are in COVID-19 pandemic, we already entering a new era called the disruptive innovation era. So these two kind of situation has blended in our daily life, and as well as in theory and also practical work in public administration. So I would like to connect to relate this issue on digital governance and crisis, managing crisis under the sorry, Mas. So I would like to share my insight in this ICONPO with the theme digital governance and crisis management during COVID-19. My subtitle is the future of public administration, particularly Indonesian government in search of agile governments. Why agile governments become the new paradigm in public administration. So we will talk about this in this afternoon. As what I have said before, that the phenomenon of disruptive innovation have demanded deep and quick management changes. And at the same time, from 2020, we are under the COVID-19 pandemic. But what we have in our knowledge that the public sector has been generally too slow to adapt. We can see that in many public sector, particularly in Indonesia, doesn't anticipate the negative impact on this three kind of major causes, such as disruptive innovation era, COVID-19, and also we know now the world is running a recession, under the economic recession. So if we see that all these three kind of causes what needs to be anticipated under the public administration, so we know that it should be the government and also the stakeholders of the government should have the anticipation on this kind of situation. And if we see from the economic of doing business, for example, as the indicators of our performance in Indonesia, we know that the performance has been
Rektor ada Pak? Ada Pak Rektor? Ada Rektor.
From 109 to 73, but it has not been able to put the country in the international radar for investment. So next slide, Mas Agus. Therefore, next slide. This is the data, and this is also the data. How the situation in Indonesia, how the government trying to push the investment rank in Indonesia under the business climate ranking, but even we know that the performance of Indonesia are still under the Philippines, under the Thailand, and also even under the Vietnam. Next, Mas. So that's the most basic steps to increase the relevance of bureaucratic reform in Indonesia is to link it with the macroeconomic indicators such the productivity or competitiveness index. So to linkage the government performance with the macro indicators, we're trying to look how the technological developments in Indonesia have shaped changes in communication and also how the government doing their works daily, how the government running their business. It is now most of them are under the technological development in all aspects, particularly also in public service. So by this technology development, so creating agile government is a fundamental for government and also the bureaucracy. Next slide, Mas. If we know that Japan, for example, they have a very modern public administration because they're already using the IoT, and there are a strong relation between business and government and the communities. They do a strategic management, how to linkage between technological, economic, and social change. And also there are the use of Internet of Things, big data, and also artificial intelligence and also robotics in providing public services. Next, Mas. Next slide. So we can see from the slide the Japan advantage position. We see that Japan has a very advantage in public administration theory and also in practical, because they are now entering the society 4.0. So how the government work? The government work in abundant accumulation of real data. Usually we call it as big data, and they also have the technology cultivated from Monozuguri. This is like a principle in Japan, how they are really keen in technology. They are really keen in producing many technology that and they also do the basic research there, and they also work with the advantage. They're trying to creating products using the information technology. Next slide. And in Japan, we can see that there are the connection between the paradigm of public administration and how the technology information that they utilize. For example, they do the drone technology to tackle labor shortage. Second, rethinking healthcare for aging society. And three, they're unlocking the treasure trove of big data. So big data is very important for them. And there are also an unprecedented demographic shift. So if we know that in Japan, they have a population that aging above 65. So they call this aging society. Okay. So in public administration, to face all the major causes that causes like inefficiency or ineffectiveness. So the new paradigm called as the agile government. The agile government being the fundamentals of the needs to meet the challenge of improving competitiveness and efficiency in public organizations. There have been new discourses on that usually they called as agile government. So in agile government theory, we can found that the general prescription are they are more professional, fast, and responsive public agency. Next slide. Next slide, Mas. Yeah. So, if we see the agile government paradigm, actually it also comes from the paradigm of high performance government. So, high performance government starting from 1980, that we call it as Six Sigma, and then later we also know that it is improved in total quality control, and total quality control also, and then we found it in 1990. We know the very famous popular concept in government is reinventing government, and in the 2000, around 2000, we have a new concept of new public management or the whole government, and starting from 2010, we are introducing by a new paradigm as agile government, and also the agile government working related with industry 4.0, society 4.0, private sector management, big data analytics, adaptive structure, and also managing disruptive environment. And then what is the agile government? So if we look at the prescription of agile government, that the agile government is the alignment of an initiative with organization goals to create value, and then agile government is the application of lean, agile values, principles, and practices to the task of governance. And third one, agile government is an effort to implement a responsive management system in business organization into public management through an adaptive structure using big data analytics by managing the disruptive environment effectively. Rohana, is there still time for me?
Yeah. Yes. Dr. Daya, is it complete? Your complete?
Yeah, okay. Okay. So I would like to talk about the Indonesian experience. How is the Indonesian government experience when we are entering the agile government? In Indonesian experience, that with the spreading use of ICT, the disruptive environment was also experienced in Indonesia. And second, many online business startups have been able to attract consumers as well as investors within the unprecedentedly short time. And in Indonesia, we also have a very famous startup that now they are the giant corporations such as Gojek, Bukalapak, Traveloka, and Tokopedia. And then fourth, yet while the technological frontier will create positive changes, it would also bring about negative changes that might not be easy to tackle. And
Another
last
3
but not
minutes,
least,
Dr. Daya.
yes.
Another 3 minutes to go.
Okay. Okay. Then the other fact that that Indonesian, while we are entering the disruptive innovation era, and we're trying to push the agile government, there are also the fact that the set of benefits are also give the negative impact, such as job losses, uneven job opportunity, and unequal prosperity among the workers due to a digital divide. So I would like to move to conclusion. The conclusion on Indonesian. Sorry. The conclusion on our insight on sorry Bu, sebentar ya, sebentar lagi, boleh 5 menit lagi ya Bu. Sorry. Sorry. So I would like to move to conclusion that the envision of the super smart society in which all the technology should be applied according to the need of the society and to ensure that technology would bring about the optimum benefit for all the elements of the society. Second, the concept of agile government and new public administration.
Dr. Daya, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Hello, Dr. Daya.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you finished your presentations or we can't hear you?
Now can you hear me?
No, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. The conclusion, there are at least 4 important conclusion, but I would like to highlight the second one. The first is the envision the super smart society in which all the technologies should be applied according to the need of the society and to ensure that technology would bring about the optimum benefit for all the elements of the society. And second, the concept of agile government and the new public administration should be able to tackle the negative impact of disruptive innovation. I think I will only share with you the number 1 and number 2, and the rest I will let you read by yourself in in the slide because of the time is ended now. Thank you.
Okay, that's all right. That's all.
That's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Daya, for your awesome. Why suddenly unmute? Did you? Okay, once again, thank you so much. I don't know why suddenly unmute my mic. That is what that's the lens from the view from the Indonesians regarding the future or the administrations in terms of the finance, in terms of the ICT, which has been shared by Dr. Daya just now. Okay, whether we notice or not, or we agree or not agree, nowadays we are in the era of IR 4.0, which is we have to align our public administrations with the IR 4.0. So based on that, I would like to call upon our third presenter, Professor David Amares from Mindanao State University to share with us about his point of views what that's we looking for the future administration. But before that, Professor David is the former of Vice Chancellor for Administrative and Finance, Liggins Institute of Technology. Forgive me if I'm pronounce it wrong. So I will pass over to Professor David to share with us for this evening.
Thank you. Nice to be with you again after my retirement 3 years ago. And I'm back with my background from the private sector after my academy to share with you my thoughts this afternoon. Public administration has gone many transformations in the past in response to the demands of both internal and external environment. The main goal of public administration is the effective and efficient delivery of the goods and services provided by the government to satisfy the needs of its stakeholders or citizens. It is an instrument in forging solidarity among the diverse citizenry in search for equality, peace and order, human rights and security. Many times in the past, public administration was faced by challenging dynamics that gradually transformed it to what it is now. Within the 4 decades past, we have concepts like reinventing the government, privatization, public-private partnership, globalization, contracting out, and the likes that help define subsequent transformation in public administration. Now we breach the wall of the knowledge era, and with the aid of computer technology, we were boosted by artificial intelligence, and we come to reckon with the so-called smart city or the digital community. Indeed, digitalization has raised public administration into its heights and brought us hopes to be able to resolve, at least mitigate, the impact of lingering issues of inequality, poverty, corruption, and other malaise that negatively impacted into governance. This brings us to the question on whether or not this technological advancement has transformed public administration into more effective and more efficient instrument of governance. For me, I would say yes, in a limited sense, because the emergence of challenges to governance seems to be faster than their resolutions. Today, our world is faced by global challenges that public administration may not be prepared to deal with. Hence, it needs more innovation to remain efficient and effective. Among the global challenges of which public administration needs more creativity and innovations are climate change, violent extremism, and the COVID-19 pandemic. To illustrate some limitations of public administration despite digital revolution, I would cite the case of Marawi crisis in the Philippines, where we have our ongoing research supported by the Commission on Human Rights of the government. In May 23, 2017, a man-made disaster set loose in Marawi City when the security forces of the government responded to the occupation of the city by extremists of the Dawla, who declared allegiance to the World Caliphate. they declared one man as the Emir of Southeast Asia and their move to make Marawi as the seat of their government. The immediate response of the government is a military surgical operation. This operation, together with the brutal justice administered by the extremists, led to the exodus of the entire city of more than 200,000 residents and the death of at least 1,210 extremists, security forces, and civilians. The operation lasted for 5 months, ending October 23, 2017, leaving the center of the city in total devastation. To help the local government, the national government established a task force to rehabilitate and reconstruct the city. The main task is to coordinate the various agencies of the national government, the regional government, the local government, local and international NGOs, and other CSOs. Coordinating 56 government agencies and other organizations with different objectives such as health, sanitation, infrastructure, livelihood, psychosocial, nutrition, and others is too much for a task force that has no experience in established organizational communication system. Definitely, there was an overload here. This resulted in individual operations and some confusion among assisting groups and among aid recipients. There is no template in crisis management since effectiveness is bounded by the context of the crisis in terms of prevailing values, ideology, culture, and the capacities and competencies of available manpower, among others. It is necessary that public servants and even volunteers like the CSOs should be prepared to face crisis situations. Public administration operates with people, and established public policies and processes are not guarantees of success if knowledge and information are not available for complementation. Thus, communication platforms should be established to coordinate operations and to disseminate valuable information to the concerned. Information and coordination are vital to participation, opinion aggregation, which are important inputs for effective public administration. The task force for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of Marawi at the end of 2021 as the target date for the completion of its mission. But with the problem of communication and absence of united strategic plan, this target is already put in question. Then 2020 came with the COVID-19 pandemic already taking its onslaught in the Philippines. Lockdowns and social protocols had limited movements. Some programs, projects, and tasks of the task force, as well as by participating organizations, became intermittent in implementation. This is a case of double disasters that calls for simultaneous crisis management in which activities in one sphere affects the other. Meantime, people who are still in temporary shelters are not only suffering of insufficiency of facilities, but they are now put into extreme danger due to cramped conditions. The government has put up an interagency task force to handle the COVID-19 crisis, but like its counterparts in other countries, this task force still has a long learning curve to follow. Along this line, I would say that the pandemic is another input for innovation in public administration. First, it must be part of the strategic plan by the government. Public servants must revisit their job descriptions and align them with the strategic plan. Only then can we go into performance management with the task of public servants are established so that we can monitor and improve their performances. During the pandemic, the term skeletal force and work from home became popular. At the moment, these concepts are vague until we seriously incorporate and observe performance management in public administration. The presence of the government during the pandemic should not be reduced, but enhanced instead. Now, climate change. The Philippines is in the typhoon belt, and 20 typhoons on yearly average visits the country. While the victims of the man-made disaster in Marawi are still patiently waiting for the completion of the reconstruction of their community, and while the pandemic is threatening them, we have climate change poised to take its toll. Heavy rains are battering the temporary shelters, adding up to the health risk posed by the pandemic to the residents. The question for public administration is now, is how resilient is it that it can respond to simultaneous multiple disasters like the case of Marawi residents. As of now, things are not clear. I can only suggest that the gathering of experts from the academia, private sector, and public sector to sit down together to discuss on what possible innovations we can infuse into public administration to be able to handle multiple disasters, man-made and natural, converging in one place at the same time. As said, violent extremism, the pandemic, and climate change are global issues. As such, it needs global responses. Hence, the question raised here is addressed to all of us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Nohana,
Yes. Wait a minute, sir.
Yeah.
Tamatada is online. Thank you so much, Prof. David. It's a very great presentations about the public future in public administrations that we are looking for. Actually, the future of the public administration can be so many directions. This is up to those who pursue the public administration to shape this our future public administrations. So hold on for it. I won't go for the Q&A session for this time because we have another two presenters that I would like to call for them to present from their point of view. But actually in the list that Aulia give it to me, the fourth presentation is Dr. Mutada, but Dr. Mutada just messaged me that he unable to join us today because of he have the emergency that he have to attend it. So maybe we hold his presentations, the video that he sent it to the secretariats for the last presenter as a last presenter. Shall I call upon another presenter from China to present about the future administrations from his lens? So let me call Prof. Tao Chen. Is a professor at the College of Public Administrations, Guangzhou University of Sciences and Technology, China. And his research interests includes of e-government, smart city, and AIs or artificial intelligence. So, is the professor in this room?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you on? Yes, I can see you. So, okay, so without further ado, I would like to call you to present from your point of view, then share it with us today.
Okay, can I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yes, we can see it. Can see the very clear.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Tao Chen. I'm from the College of Public Administration, Huazhong University of Science and Technology. We are in Wuhan, China. Today, my topic is combating COVID-19 with emerging technologies, China's experience. Okay, firstly, we can review the outbreak of COVID-19 in Wuhan. And we can see that, so excuse me for a while. Okay. And we can see that China has carried out effective prevention and control measures against COVID-19. And in the early stage of the outbreak, we knocked down the whole city, Wuhan, to control the epidemic, to prevent the spread of the virus. By the mid of March, firstly, we have controlled the COVID-19 epidemic, basically. And in the April 8th, and Wuhan was reopened. Okay, so we have some experience that can be summarized as 4 early. Early detection, early reporting, early isolation, and early treatment. Now, okay, China has finally almost brought the epidemic under control, and this is very difficult, very difficult. So we think China's experience can help the other countries to fight against the virus. Okay. In the beginning about the epidemic, we have many uncertainties about COVID-19. For example, how the virus will infect peoples. Okay, what's the infectious circles among the population infected? So, and also, the COVID-19 spread really fast. So it's very difficult to deal with these diseases. And also it brought increasing pressures for the hospitals because there are so many confirmed patients. We need to assign these patients in hospitals. And also we don't have enough healthcare professionals. Also how to guarantee the supply of the goods and the materials. This is a big problem. And for Wuhan, the whole city was blocked down. So how to provide the food and materials for such a huge population in this city. And also there are so many COVID-19 related rumors. So this is the challenges for the combating against COVID-19 virus. Okay, this is a model about how the emerging technologies can be applied in prevention and control of COVID-19 virus. And we can see there are many emerging technologies such as cloud computing, big data, Internet of Things, okay, mobile internet, and AI, okay. So these emerging technologies has been applied in almost four stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. For example, the detection, the early response, the intervention, and the post-interventions. The application scenarios include the information delivery, information sharing, the screen, the risk assessment, tracking, and diagnosis, and the telemedicine. Okay, I will explain later. Okay, this is a very famous internet hospital in China. It's called Wei Doctor. It's based in Hangzhou, and during the COVID-19 epidemic, this company launched a platform to integrate medical resources from home and abroad to offer assistance to both Chinese and international friends. Okay. So in addition to Chinese people who can get services from this online platform, and many 16 million overseas Chinese, they can also get the consulting services and some other services from this platform. And according to WeChat, there are total about
betul.
Didatangi satu-satu. Jadi saya kasih masukan. Begini saja, Pak. Ketika kita pelayanan, misalnya ada yang mau mengurus surat-surat, pun bawa KTP dengan kakak sebagai persyaratan.
Please mute your mic.
Okay. Thank you. So there are a total of 48,000 doctors. They offered consultation services in this platform, because during the epidemic, we don't have so many healthcare professionals. We don't have so many doctors. So this platform played an important role to provide consulting services for people. Okay. And this is digital tracking technologies developed by Alibaba and firstly is by Alibaba, then and Tencent also developed this system. This is called a healthcare QR code system. We can see there are three colors of the code. The green code, the yellow code, and the red code. So this is to tracking the healthcare conditions for Chinese people, especially for people they travel from one city to another. This is very important. So we have different policies for these three different color of health codes. Only those people they have green color codes, they are allowed in public places. They can take the airplane, they can take the high-speed train. If you have yellow or red code, you cannot, because red code means okay, you are comfort patients. And yellow code means you have very close intermediation with comfort patients. So you need to be isolated. Okay, so this is to check the health conditions for people and to prevent the widespread of the virus. Now almost all cities in China are using this system. Okay, another application is the intelligent diagnosis for chest CT images. You know, the CT serves as a very important method for confirmation of COVID-19, but the process takes a long time, about 2 hours. You know, during the outbreak of the COVID-19, we don't have so many medical staff. So AI-based diagnostic system can detect the nations of COVID-19 with high sensitivity and only with 2 minutes. Okay, so it shortened the time from 2 hours to 2 minutes. Okay, it's a very big improve. So AI-based diagnosis system accelerates the screening process for suspected patients, enable the treatment of suspected patients in very short time, reduce the risk of cross-infection in healthcare facilities, and relieve the shortage of doctors during the COVID-19 epidemic. Also, we have tiny communication, okay, medical services.
So, we have 5 minutes more to go.
Okay, okay. This is a hospital in Wuhan. It's Wuchang Hospital, and most of the devices in the hospital are IoT enabled, and the services are carried out by robots. For example, the initial screening of the patients is done by 5G enabled thermometers, and also there are rings and bracelets and that are collected to AI platform, so it can monitor all changes in the body. Also some robots and smart transportation robots. They can carry food and medicine to patients from healthcare providers. This is autonomous vehicles produced by Baidu. internet company in China, and Baidu has collaborated with Linux to deliver supplies and food to a big hospital in Beijing. And also that iDrive Plus, a Chinese self-driving company, they operates electric street cleaning vehicles, and this is part of they can be used to disinfect hospitals. Also, some mobile tracking technologies. Using big data analysis about location data, body temperature, travel history, and other data, the government can find out the number of people with who an infected person was in close contact. They can, and ask them to self-isolate themselves. But the collection and the use and the exchange, the sharing of this data should be under the premise of protecting personal privacy. This data can be only used with the consent of the person from whom it is collected. And the government also released related data security policies. Also, government social media, so to provide timely information and data for citizens to reduce the anxiety, and the government has developed some social media channels to provide data and information to the public. For example, Healthy China, and this is the official account of National Health Commission of China. This Health China has played a very important role in the crisis communication compared with other social media channels in China. Okay, the discussion. So the COVID-19 epidemic is a common challenges facing humanity, and as the epidemic spreads, professionals from all countries, including scholars in public administration, they should share their experience and work together to explore a complete information technology response framework to improve the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, and during epidemic prevention and control periods, technology companies, they should prevent technology abuse, and then the government should be careful to promote technology for the good and the benefits of the public. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Tao, for your very exciting information that share with us about your current pandemic situations in Wuhan. That I believe they have a lot of people waiting to ask the questions how that you can resolve the the pandemic very fast. Hold on first, calm down first. We have another presenter that we will going to present presentation. Even though the Dr. Matada is not here, but he already sends his video presentations, which is he will talk about the future, the challenges university has to face in the future public administrations. He sent regards and apologize to everyone. He could not make it today because he have a emergency matter. So I hope that Alia, did you receive his slide presentations, video slide presentations? Okay, we can start it now.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. Thank you to Dr. Aina for the wonderful introduction, and distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen, all the participants, First of all, I would like to express my deepest appreciation for APSPA for being able to have a wonderful conference, even though we are in the midst of pandemic. But the working team from APSPA has been able to put together a very wonderful effort to make sure that we still continue with our annual conference. So again, I would like to express my deepest appreciation for all the people who have made this conference possible. My today's presentation would be future challenges for public administration program in Malaysia, searching for new paradigm. So first, let me talk about the dynamics of changes that have taken place, not only in Malaysia, but all over the world, that have caused us to relook at the program of public administration in particular, and as a whole, to public administration in general. And I'm sure everyone is already aware that we are living in the COVID-19 pandemic right now. So there have been a lot of implication for that. For example, social disruption and the demand for robust governance, especially in education, because I'm sure some of us who are in the education sector, we have been hit hard by this COVID pandemic. And in addition to that, we have also been forced to find a pragmatic redirection of governance solution. And among them would be a lot of decentralized flexibility, innovation, adaptation in teaching and learning. I'm sure a lot of people have been used to online teaching and online learning because this is the way to go, because we are not able to continue with physical meeting due to this COVID pandemic. So we have been forced to adapt using online teaching and learning system. And also with the introduction of online learning, we have to face a lot of risks, not only in terms of students, but also in terms of the learning process itself. So these are the things that are taking place right now. And secondly, even though we are still in the midst of pandemic, we have to also embrace the fourth industrial revolution that is spreading all over the world. So it means that new technologies to foster e-participation, because society and citizens have been pressuring the government to make sure that they can get involved in policy making, and therefore government has to realign their goals and objectives to make sure that they are soliciting participation from the general public in order to improve the decision making process. And apart from that, in the era of digitalization, the issue which is very, very critical nowadays is the invasion of privacy and protection of digital rights. As far as we are concerned, a lot more people are using internet, and a lot more people, whenever they are putting in information, private information in the internet, in the social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, and so on. There have been a lot of cases where their data have been manipulated, their data have been used without permission for commercial purposes, and sometimes for crime purposes. So it is very critical that not only in the universities, higher education, but also government in particular have to look into this protection of privacy and digital rights. And also, I'm sure a lot more countries are also having this kind of problem, especially developing countries, when the increase in digital divide, especially when we have turned to online learning and teaching. I'm sure there'll be a lot more people from the lower class group where they are not able or they cannot afford to buy computers, they cannot afford to buy laptop, and sometimes they couldn't even afford to pay for the internet. So this caused a great problem for students in particular, especially not only primary and secondary students, but also university students, when they are not able to access information that become part and parcel of the learning process nowadays. So this is an issue also that need to be addressed carefully. And also the rise of cyber terrorism. In fact, we have seen so many cases that taking place about cyber terrorism, because this is the opportunity for people to use technology, to use internet, to spread sometimes hate speech, to spread a lot of things that are very negative in our society that cause disruption. And apart from that, this is also the time when big data has become a very critical issue in the government, because government has to make quick decision, and to make quick decision, it requires information. There are a lot of information out there, but unfortunately, there have not been specific mechanism that would allow government to extract information from a lot of data that are out there, to make sure that this data will be extracted specifically to certain issues, so that decision makings that are being made are clearly tailor-made to solve any particular problem. Countries, especially taking into account the cultural context. So this is something that will become the norm in the future. So let's talk about the key points from the development that is taking place. So public administration in general is more suited to robotic application, because bureaucracy is rule-based, governed by legislative and administrative guidelines. So a lot more administrators are doing routine procedures for decision making, and these are the things that normally governments are doing: providing information, making payment, collecting revenues, processing grant application, enforcing regulation, and so on. So what are the challenges? So let me just briefly explain, because I know my time is almost up. Balance the power of technology with standards to ensure safety and inclusivity, because this is another important aspect that we have to address: inclusivity, ability of government to adapt and change, and then to make sure that employees have the necessary skills to support it. Then demand for new digital profession, especially now we have to make sure that our program also take into account all this new development: cloud specialist, cyber security, service development, robotics, cognitive and artificial intelligence. So manager has to have all these new skills: agile coach, technology innovation manager, chief digital information. And all of these aspects are pretty much relevant in the industry, and we have to make sure that the program really take into account all these changes. And then lack of digital skills, not only in government agency, but also in the university as well. Lack of digital strategy. I'm sure even in Malaysia, sometimes we have a lot of organizations that are very not clear about what is the important digital strategy for their own organization. Then adopt positive attitude to risk propensity. So risk taking is also another issue that governments have to deal with. And then, of course, insufficient financing, another issue that is being faced by all organizations, not only in the West but also in the East. So most public organizations also face cultural issues, because of the migration toward digital culture. And digitalization and regulatory framework, digital rights versus human rights. Another key critical discourse that would have to take place in order to look into this area carefully, because we have been for all the centuries, government all over the world have been trying to protect human rights, but now we are in the age of digitalization, where digital rights are also as important as human rights. And then looking at the future employment outlook in public sector, of course, because of technology-driven economy, so things have changed a lot, and we have to make sure that the programs, public administration program, also take into account all the changes that are taking place, especially inequality and lack of inclusivity. So these are some of the skills for the years ahead, whether or not our programs are able to impart these important knowledge and skill to our prospective graduates. So my key question that I would like to pose to all the audience for this conference is: are we ready to embrace change? Because if we are not, then we will have a great challenge in front of us. And if we do not want to embrace change, we will be left behind. So the solution is up to us. Because this is also the way forward, where robots will continue to replace a lot more people in the organization. This is a stark reality that we will have to face. So which way should we go? The old ways or the new way? Which means we have to change the way we do things. Thank you very much. Again, I'm sorry for taking a little bit more time, and I wish all the participants the best. Take care, stay safe, and may we all see you guys again next year. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Yes, as you know, as the world around us is changing with the or cadets with the concomitant changes in politics, business, economics, and society. So the field of public administrations cannot be aloof from the needs to innovate and change as well. So we already and for all the presenters their point of view. So now we move on to the Q&A sessions, which is I open to everyone to ask for all the presenters here. So you can ask, and then you can type in the chat box. So I believe that you all of us have many in your minds to ask to raise up the questions towards the panels here. So you are welcome to do so. Let me check the chat box while waiting for the question from the participants. Any questions that you would like to ask all the panels? Can I ask one question to the Professor Tao? Hello, Professor Tao, you are here, still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. We are very you know, that are very impactful with your presentations that you share with us about how did your government, especially in the Wuhan province, that's very fast react to the pandemic, which is like it's a nightmare to everyone's, a very nightmare to everyone's. That we are in Malaysia, like now we are suffering nearly 2 years, and the numbers of pandemics is not going down but raising. Oh, sorry, my cat that's come to disturbing me. So is it then I see from your presentation just now, you are I mean your governments fully utilize the IA methods. So how did people in the Wuhan's give the cooperations, and how does your big changes in your policy to overcome these pandemics?
Okay. Thank you for your question, because I stay in Wuhan during outbreak of COVID-19. In the beginning, okay, because we don't know much about this virus, so okay, people they don't know, they have never met this kind of virus that are so serious. But when the Wuhan city had been knocked down, most people get to know what are our challenges we have. Okay, but I think Wuhan people okay. They have very active attitudes to cooperate, because this is not issues only related to people be affected. It was going to affect every people, because this is a pandemic, right? Pandemic. And during the lockdown of Wuhan, as most Wuhan people, they are willing to okay, maybe stay in their home, and it's about 2 months, so long period. So Wuhan paid a lot of cost. Wuhan people, they paid a lot to fight against this virus. Okay, I think we have traditional culture to Chinese culture. Okay, to cooperate together. So okay, of course we have many inconveniences because we cannot go outside, but the government made a very great efforts. They every cities in other countries, they contribute to the fight against the COVID-19. Many medical professionals, doctors, all over the country, they went to Wuhan in that period to have the risk of be effective, but they don't hesitate. Okay, so the whole country, the whole China, to help Wuhan to overcome these great challenges. Yeah. Now, okay, we also worry about the spread of the virus all over the other countries, because we are okay, because we are friends. We are friends, and it's a global. It's in a global age, so I think every professionals all over the all over the world, they should to cooperate, to communicate, to discuss how to cooperate to fight against this COVID-19 and the new virus. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Taus. Any more questions from the for the participants to the panelists? Any questions? Let me check the box. So here we have. Yes,
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, if you have more time for me, just a little bit to discuss with Professor Chen here. I see that China has progressed so fast because of the readiness of digital infrastructure. We are from outside China. We have no idea, how China turned it around and can control. And today we see it clearly that you are turning into more like a smart city here in Wuhan, like using robot, AI, and everything that we try to make our like content and to name some of a few to make it more like Chonburi and hospital with digital devices and robots and AI, everything. I just wonder, has that been the plan for so long? I believe that Wuhan and some other cities in China has planned that for many years. But once you faced with COVID-19, it not that difficult to control the pandemic here. Can you elaborate more, Professor Chen?
Okay. We don't think we have planned a long time for COVID-19 epidemic because this is such a serious virus and spread so fast. No one have predicted this kind of situation, but we have very quick response and a very quick innovation during prevention and control of the epidemic, and also very fast cooperation among the governments, among the hospitals and companies. You can see many internet companies like Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu was participate in the prevention and control of the epidemic. Okay, I think because my research areas is focused on digital government. Okay, the development of digital government in China begins from the end of last century. So with about 20 years development, we have very good experience and very good infrastructures for ICT. And you can see the development of internet and the 5th generation telecommunication infrastructure and so many internet companies. Okay, during the lockdown of Wuhan, most people they buy their food, they buy other things from the internet. So I think this is the good development of infrastructure and the development of e-commerce and the digital government is very important to better use the emerging technologies during epidemic control. Okay.
So,
thank you.
Any more questions from the rest of the audience? The rest of the participants here in the room? Any more questions? Anyone can ask anything. One you may say.
I think everyone is waiting for a wording.
Yes, Dr. Eko, any question that you would like to raise up to our panel?
Yeah, I just want to know, especially for my friend from China and also David Morales, when we're talking about the crisis, do you think when we're talking about the crisis and the pandemic situation right now, do you think that the way of our governments deal with the crisis it's changed or it's still the same? The same, I mean, our government is still centralized, our government still less responsive, our government still they don't everything very responsive or something like that. Because in my view, I just want to compare based on your experience in your country as well. Are there any difference the way of our government work to deal with the crisis? Is it they change or they not change at all? So I think those questions I asked to three speakers, Dr. Arin, Dr. Tao, and also Dr. Morales. Thank you.
Dr. Eko throw out the question for all the panelists here to answer it. So anyone can start you first.
Whom do you want to answer, Pa Eko?
Yeah, do you think the governments, the Philippines governments, they change how they treat our society? Do you think the governments during the COVID-19 pandemic they're more responsive or they just everything as usual?
The government is trying very hard, but the problem here is it is not really prepared for emergency cases like the pandemic that we have. It takes time to learn how to do things that they want to do. So I am saying that maybe what public administration has to do is to come up with proper planning that would include what are the actions that has to be taken in cases of disasters or the advent of some risk like this, so that they can prepare their people in advance, and when time comes, they just respond. What is happening now is the bureaucracy tend to be sitting down doing things or business as usual, and when something new comes, that is the time that they would react. It is very reactive kind of bureaucracy. It should be proactive, plan in advance, try to predict what are the possible events that will come in the future and prepare for it. Your technology will not be of good use if you will not train the human resource that you have.
Thank you. Dr. Morales. Thank you. It's good that we're talking about the responsiveness and also good planning. Thank you.
Any wants to ask the questions?
Yeah, may I add some information, Dr. Rohana?
Yes.
I do agree with Professor David Almares that saying that the government has trying so hard to facing this pandemic situation. If we know that Indonesian government issued many policies on COVID pandemic, and it is shown how the government trying to adapt with the sudden shock situation, sudden what I call it, pandemic is coming very suddenly to all of us, and it also happened to the government. They have to change their instruments, how to deliver the public services to the public, for example. And now we also doing the work from home, study from home for the pupils.
Holiday from home.
Holiday every day. So I think this is shown
how the government trying to adapt and also how to overcome the shortcoming from the pandemics. But maybe one thing, it also needs the support from the public. How the public also have to assist or help the government, for example, to put a new normal, really in a new normal and back to normal situation as what we have before the pandemic. So I think everybody is everybody is in I mean to back all, and we are not. So this is the how the government respond, and also on the vaccine, how the government trying to distribute to buy all the vaccine for the citizens, Indonesian citizens, for example. So that's the situation. And about the implementation, we know in Indonesia, for example, government provide the vaccine, provide the doctors, nurses, but some of the opinions from the some organizations is reject the vaccine. So that's why there are also some citizens also reject to get the vaccination, and it makes the situation worse. So this is part of the dynamic in a situation that the government should overcome. Thank you, Pak Eko.
Thank you. So we are talking about the public participation and also public trust. Thank you, Prof. Arin.
It means that there have must be both involvements, the government and the people itself. Then only that we can resolve it soon. This pandemic, it's not the one way category, but it's both government and also the peoples. The peoples who must have the knowledge about this, how serious this pandemic is about. Because we believe that's why I believe that how this Wuhan's very fast, because they're both citizens and governments, they look at this pandemic is a very serious matter. So that is, I think that the reason why they resolve very fast one. Any more questions? Okay. Prof, this is the I think this is the questions from Hafiz. Say that I need to ask Professor Chen, do you think China digitalization measures are sustainable and consistent? Because despite 2 strict entry and exit measures, data affected the city against. Do you think it's challenge and raise questions on the Wuhan digitalization? This question goes to Prof. Tao again.
Okay. Okay, I saw this question. Yeah.
Two, let me read another two about Wuhan also. Then you can answer it in one shot. Wuhan has already controlled the spread of Delta. There were no new confirmed patients these 2 days. Is it impossible to control spread of Delta without digitalizations?
Yeah,
okay.
That's the answer. Okay.
Hello, Dr. Tao.
Yeah.
Did you hear the question?
Yes, I hear the question, and okay, I will explain a little bit more. Yeah, because for the spread of data, yeah, because this is okay. This is spread from okay, from the airport of Nanjing. You know, I think you have you have written the news and in the Nanjing airport. So that is some staff in the airport, they get infected by foreigner okay patients. So because maybe there are some okay and the Nanjing airport, okay, they don't have very strict control measures. So the data spread from Nanjing airport to other cities, including Wuhan. And there are some people, they traveled from Nanjing to Wuhan. So it began to spread. But for the people, they get infected, they don't have very severe symptoms, so it's very difficult to detect
or diagnose.
Yeah, very difficult to detect. But after some people have been found to be confirmed as COVID as the Delta virus. So the government, okay, they respond very quickly. So okay, the day after that, whether okay, whether the government and okay, universities and schools, they also began to, and communities, they began to okay to do the various tests and to find people get affected. So it's very valid. At the beginning is seven people be confirmed, and after after 2 days, so we found about 40 people in the following two and 3 days, and now it's very stable, very stable. And what conflicted people, they can be traced to only one okay sources. So now the situation in Wuhan is very okay, is very okay. It's very stable. We have no new cases of the COVID patients. Okay, now we can go. If you have green and the health code, so you can go almost everywhere. But if you have the color of yellow, you cannot go to public places. I think the digitalization is very important for the prevention and the control of the Delta virus. Yeah, that's my okay answer.
Okay, thank you so much. So finally, we come to the end of our sessions. So what we can say that is the future of public administrations predicts a future with new sets of the challenges for the nation state and its public administration system. So now before I would like to say thanks again to all the panelists today. This is the professor. Hold on a second, yeah. Mr. Professor Alphonse, Professor Tao, Professor Davis, I said Professor Daya, and also Professor Dr. Ahmad Batada for your very fruitful sharing information with us today. So by this, before we wrap up these sessions, I would like to request all of yours to show your beautiful and handsome faces here for us to cap be a moments, a sweet moments for this year seminar before we end of our sessions. So please, everyone here, to on your video. Then the secretariat will snap our photo. Then they will keep it this memento in the website. Then you can open and see it again from time to time. Please, all the participants, shall we?
Let me count it for you, Dr. Rohana.
Yeah.
Let me count to take a picture.
Is where the rest? Where the rest of participants?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Doctor.
So, okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Have you finished? Okay. Thank you. So we move to the next agenda. Last but not least is rewarding together with announce the next ICONPO and closing that will be delivered by Professor Amhorn Tamronglak, PhD, as the President of APSPA. Let me welcome Professor Amhorn Tamronglak, PhD. Time is yours.
Thank you, Alia. So all your hard work has been done, finished. Congratulations to everyone here. All your hard work and efforts, presentation, sharing, discussions, everything here would come to almost the end. But it would be nice to take home rewards. Giving that, it's just a compliment that we reward you for your hard work, and we would like you to come back again, next year and the following years to come. So I gather opinion from different rooms, different parallel sessions, and would like to congratulate all these listings here. So we will award students for the best paper, for undergrad students, for graduate students, and professionals, of course, and also presenters. Here we go. I think we need a drum or something, right, Aurea or Agus? Okay, best paper for undergraduate students for this year.
Yes, Prof. Apon. Just we have some tones to following your awarding.
Okay, giving them some excitement here. I don't know how I'm going to give you the certificate and award here, but it will be virtual. So be ready to accept it. So best paper for undergraduate students. Here we go. I have 3 names here on my list. The first one, number 1. Congratulations to Yusin Ji Giteng from City University of Hong Kong. Yao Jin from Hua Chung University of Science and Technology. And Muhammad Sukarno, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Thank you all. Congratulations.
Prof. Ampon, please
Yes.
call them to take picture together with you. Just
just like that. Okay. You Sinji, are you in here? Ying Teng.
Next one.
Next one, Yao Jin from Hus. Congratulations. I think we have a certificate ready, right? We prepared it. Yes. Where are you? And Muhammad Sukarno also from UMY. I believe some of you are in here. Yeah, he's in here, Muhammad Sukarno. Congratulations.
Mama Sukarno, where is your face? Mama Sukarno, where is your face?
Let me see your face.
We want to take a picture, Mama Sukarno. Sukarno?
Nope. They are very shy here.
Yeah.
They all are very shy here. Congratulations.
Because Sukarno already give Indonesian independent.
Okay, moving on to best papers for graduate students here. We have 5 names actually. Congratulations to Yeni C. Utami. Forgive me if I say your name not right. From Universitas Sidelas Marit. Show your face here and you can take a photo and maybe a certificate or something, right?
Yeah, the certificate from the on the background. But Yeni, there?
And some of you maybe give us some reactions here on the bottom of your screen, you know, clap your hand, give them some big hearts. Mani Chachawan Manisi from Thailand, National Institute of Development Administration, NIDA. Yes, congratulations to you. Are you here? Can anyone manage the photo here? Aulia and Agus, please manage that.
Okay, Achan.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
But Yeni, you have to show. So we will take a picture for a while.
Okay, Yeni.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I am still with my mother. My mother is still sick.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
in Thailand just passed Mother's Day. Congratulations to you, Yeni.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pasi Lamat.
Thank you very much.
From UMY also, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, Achan.
Okay. Nadantun Wadania from UMY also. Where are you? Last but not least, Joe Yusen from National University of Defense Technology. If you are in here, please show your face on camera. Otherwise, I will move on. Okay, best paper from professionals here. We have 4 people here. Jin Long Duan, Beijing Normal University. Congratulations. Are you in, right? Okay.
Long, I think you are here, Jin Long.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jin Long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Megandaru Viti.
Jin Long, we want to take a picture. This is Jin Long. Yeah.
Institute.
We want to take a picture.
Okay, you are here.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's from Institute Pemirin Tahan Daram Negeri. You're here, right?
Mekandaru, is it here? Mekandaru? Mekandaru?
Time to enjoy now.
If not, there is Delila, Achan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Professor Rohan Donato. Congratulations.
Donato.
Thank you.
China
Hey,
University Summer
very
School.
pleased. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Wait a minute, Renato. We want to take picture.
Donato. Okay. Okay, that's done, right?
Yeah.
We have Bembang Eka Kaya, right? From UMY. How many UMYs already got the the award?
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, moving on now. Best presenter. We have best presenter. Student category here. 3 of them, and I listened to some of them, you know. Sisi Sundari from UMY. Congratulations. Sisi, are you in here?
Thank you very much.
Thank
Jay,
you.
stay there.
Thank you very much.
Hadianti, University Muhammadiyah, Siden Weng, Repang. Are you here? Are you here? Okay, last but not least, Lanyang, Beijing Normal University.
I'm here. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank
Wait a
you.
minute.
We
We
take
want
a
to take picture.
photo. Okay, good. Done, right? We have more. Best presenter. Next category for professionals here. We have Eugene Lee from Northwest University. Congratulations.
Jelly.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. You want to take
Yeah,
picture?
thank you so much.
Wanna take and turn on your camera?
Yeah. Turn on the camera. We want to take picture.
Lokachun University, Uttar Malaysia, UUM. Are you here?
Yes, Prof.
Okay, congrats.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Last but not least, Akbar Malana from University Muhammadiyah, Jember.
Molana.
Malana, are you here?
It's not here.
Not here.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to move on to best participants. We have 2 here. Li Jianmin from Beijing Normal University. Yes, all two of them from Beijing Normal University. I'm sorry if I'm not saying right. Chua Chun, Liu Chua Chun, and Li Jianmin. Congratulations to all awardees here. All right, it's done. Thank you. Thank you all. I see Mani Chachawan raise her hand. Okay. Done, right?
Done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, everyone. A big round of applause to every one of you and single one of you and my favorite team here from UMY, from HAST, and of course from each and every one of you. This event will not be happening here today without your participation and efforts, okay? Doing your good work again, and I hope to see you again next year. I am waiting for the next announcement. Dr. Andy, passing on the microphone. Thank you. We see you.
Yeah.
Thank you too. Nice to meet you.
No, Mandy, your announcement. I'm passing on my assignment to my secretary. Yeah, a big secretariat here, general secretary. Professor Numande, are you here? We are waiting
Okay,
for.
very good afternoon, everyone. Professor Ampon, my chairwoman, and ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Normandi just sent a message to me.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. First of all, I would like to thanks to our organizing committee who already worked very hard in the last of weeks. And also I would like to thank our partners, us, and also all the co-hosts, Universitas Rapang, Universitas Jember, Universitas Utara Malaysia, Universitas Tamasat, Konkan University, and maybe some of Anida University and some of our partner who I cannot read all the participants here. Once again, thank you very much. The second one, I also thanks to all the executive boards who already done very good work. We already have been here nearly 12 or 13 years so far. So there are a few things that I would like to give you some announcement. I have already read down here. The first one, when we're talking about the publication, there are a few type of paper on the quality and based on the review of paper. For those paper, is the quality is good enough, maybe they can go to national accreditation journals. But for those one who want to pass the paper to go to a proceeding international, you can do so as well. And for those paper who will submit to international proceeding, it will be free because it's already including with your fee. The next one that I would like to inform you is about for those students, those participants that the paper is really good and best ones, you can go and choose to the Scopus indexing journal that we already have cooperation with them. But you have to remember for those participants who choose to be published in a good journal and reputable journal, it means indexing in Scopus or Web Science, there is additional fee that you have to pay. The money will go to the editor journal to support the journal to be an open access. This is about the output of this conference. And until now, we still try to review, and after that, we will send it back to all of you to revise with, and also you can decide it, what is the outcome of your paper. This is my first announcement. Second announcement, I think that I would like to tell you for the next conference for the next year. Inshallah, we will be in Malaysia. Will be hosted by Puan Rohana or Professor Dr. Rohana. That sometimes we call it Aini. Yeah, our lovely sister Aini is still here. And I think that's all that I have to give announcements for us. And last but not least, once again, thank you very much. If you have any concern, any issue, please do not hesitate to contact us directly. For those participants who already registered and apply for individuals member of APSPA, thank you very much. For those participants who already applied for institutional as well, we already thanks because we already got some applicants who want to join us, both individual and also institutional partners. I think that's all for me, my chairwoman, Professor Ampon Tromlaks. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you next year.
See you guys. We keep contact, okay?
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Hope to
Thanks to Professor Amran and
I hope see you again next year.
Thank you, Professor
Amran. And congratulations also to participants who got the rewarding. Before we are going to close our agenda today, once again, thank you so much for your participation actively.
Thank you very much.
Okay. APSPA. As the Master of Ceremony, thanks to our speaker, Professor Maureen Jensen, Professor Amron as the President of APSPA, and also thanks to participant entirely. See you on the next ICONPO 12, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nawang,
Thank you very
Andy,
much.
Agus, Aulia.
Thank you, all of you. Bye bye. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sawadee-krap. Bye bye.
Sawadee-krap,อาจารย์
Thank you so much, and see you guys
See you,
Malaysia
Terengganu.
next year.
Maria and
See you
James,
to Malaysia.
Yeah, see you all guys in Malaysia next year.
Terima
Okay,
kasih. Terima kasih. Everyone.
Okay, bye bye. Take care, stay safe.
All the same.
Okay, congratulations, my president.
Yeah.
And everyone.
Where is Professor Numandi?
Playing football.
Playing football.
Play football.
On holiday weekend.
Yeah, it's Saturday.
Okay. Yep. โอเคครับอาจารย์ครับสวัสดีครับ
อาจารย์ขอบคุณมากค่ะอาจารย์ประชุมเสร็จแล้วเนาะ
ครับ
Okay, bye.
ถามประชุมวันนี้
Bye, Prof. Bye, all.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
I want to
See
leave
you.
now. I want to leave now.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Maria, see you
See you,
next year.
Rohana. See you in UMT next year.
See you in Malaysia.
My big love.
Okay. Big love. Big heart. Big heart to all of you. Big heart here.
Let's eat some tang. Let's eat some tang now. Let's eat some tang.
Big heart here. Sending you home.
Yeah. Satapon, thank you, Satapon, Agus.
Eko, thank you so much
Okay,
for
thank
your
you.
for your time and efforts and everything here.
Everything.
Agus too.
Thank you, Prof. Ampon.
Superb.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
support
you.
and advice, of course.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, Agus, you can close all those things. Agus, thank you.
Yeah, turn it off. Okay.
Yeah, turn it off.